Hello to our Michigan corn growers, fellow agricultural community members, farmers, students, and anyone else who is passing by on our social media pages. I'm your host, Andrew Smith, and I am excited to begin our first in many #FarmVlogFridays. For our first vlog, we are traveling to, in my opinion, the happiest place on earth. And no, I'm not talking about Disneyland, I'm talking about Thelma, Michigan. We will be meeting with Smith Family Farms of Bayport, a 6th-generation row crop and livestock operation. Enjoy.
It was started by my great-great-grandfather who came over and was an immigrant, and they took on the forestry of the area. He fought in the Civil War and was grandfathered homesteaded this particular farms, and they cleared the woods, and then they had to work the land, and they raised cattle, small cattle, and hogs, pigs, sheep, chickens to survive on. And
currently we're growing about 450 acres of corn. We have 500 acres of sugar beets, about 700 acres of dry beans, and 500 acres of wheat, and about 25 acres of alfalfa that we have for the cattle. We have around 100 head that we keep on the farm. When I was growing up on the farm, things are certainly different now. At times I think I'm almost cheating. The way farming has become so much easier, a lot more hand labor. Back when I was a child, we milk cows in the stanchion, we hoed a lot of weeds and just baled hay by hand, and things are so mechanicized now, and it makes life of a farmer a lot easier than it used to be years ago when I was growing up. But I can also say it was enjoyable when I was growing up and seeing things grow, and I really enjoyed that as a youth.
I remember being responsible for doing cattle chores out in the barn. I always wanted to be around my brothers, helping them. They were kind enough to include me in all the activities, and sometimes they worked me a little harder than I think they should have, but I enjoyed it. Learned a lot from my dad and my brothers as I continued to expand my knowledge of the farming operation. And I always had an inkling of coming back to the farm. And once college finished up and I had some opportunities my father and brothers offered me, and it seemed like a good business decision at the time. A little bit of leap of faith, as it always is in farming and any other business venture that you go into. But had a lot of leadership from my father and my brothers, and took a leap of faith, and it's turned out very well for me.
Since I've been a young man in the late 60s, when I first started helping Dad a little bit, you know, where do you start with the change? You go from 4-row planters to 8-row planters to 16 to 24 to now 36-row planters. The combines are amazingly big compared to what I started out with, and everything just seems to have gotten better and bigger. The technology that comes along with all this stuff that makes it so much easier to farm and keep track of where you've been and where you're going and all that stuff. It's just been a tremendous change.
The sky's the limit. Technology is going to take us a long ways. I think when I finished up at high school in 1986, my FFA advisor said that when I get ready to retire, I'll be able to sit down at a computer, type in the coordinates of the field, and the tractor would start itself, go to the field, and plant it. And we're very close to that today already, and I'm still not retired yet. And I do see that in the next 20 years that will be a very reality in the near future, that farmers will be able to just have a little bit more flexibility in when they can plant. Tractors can run 24/7. That changes the whole dynamics of the game. And looking forward to seeing some of those changes come. It's new, it's a little different aspect than what I'm used to, but that's the job for the next generation to come along and figure that out.
Agriculture is unique in the sense that you have to stay at the job till it's done. It's not a 9-to-5 job. Sometimes it's 7 days a week. If the weather's saying you've got to go, the old saying you got to make hay when the rain shines sure applies to this job that we do. But it also comes with its rewards, being outside in God's country and looking around and seeing all the things that nature has to provide. Not only as the crop you're growing, but the wildlife and everything that's around. It makes it very unique, and a lot of times in the farming community, we stick together. Last fall was a terrible fall, trying to get work done. It was really nice and unique to see one neighbor helping another neighbor get his work done so everybody could have an enjoyable winter.
But as I go through it, there's nothing more rewarding for me than being able to say that I worked with my father and my brother, and now even my children. They have been a great part of my life, and there's nothing more rewarding than family and passing on my knowledge to the next generation.